Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? It's Professional here. I wanted to wish everyone a happy 4th of July, but also I wanted to make this short video today talking about this whole controversy with PlayStation and going completely diskless by January 2028, which I think is completely unacceptable, and I think it's betraying their core audience, the people who have stayed with PlayStation since, the beginning. And I have been playing PlayStation since the 1990s. For people wondering how old I am 32. I know people don't ever believe me when I tell them I'm 32, but yes, I am 32. I even have, PS1 games that I played. I remember this game I played in the 1990s, Siphon Filter 2. This was one of my all-time favorite games. I just love the Siphon Filter series. And then I even have, games like, Ace Combat 4, which is one of my favorite PS2 games, which I'm going to be doing a playthrough next month. And even have, Fallout New Vegas in the PS3, which is one of my all-time favorite games. So I've been with PlayStation for, forever, basically. I've been with PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, and now with PS5. And as a lifelong PlayStation user and fan, or at least I'd like to consider myself a fan, I have this video as like basically a message to Xbox, and I hope that people can drop this video a like and spread this around, share this video, especially if you agree with what I'm saying here. But my message right here is to Xbox. I don't know if anybody from Xbox is going to see this video. I hope that somebody from Xbox is going to see this video, and hear me out on this. Remember in 2013 when, Xbox One was, showcasing its features. And I remember that Xbox One had this ridiculous feature back in 2013 where if you had a physical game and you put that physical game into your Xbox One, what happened was I'm pretty sure that it locked it to that specific console. So even if, you took the physical game out and you tried to let your friend borrow it or you tried to sell the game, it would not work like that. And what ended up happening was there was instant backlash. Like, there was a really bad backlash because of that. And within just a couple days, I know that Xbox actually changed their policy. Sony actually really quickly put together an ad. And this was actually their ad. Let me play it right here.
This is how you share your games on PS4.
Thanks.
PlayStation.
So Sony mocked you guys at Xbox for not letting, people, sell, give, and borrow, physical games. But now it's the ironic where it's the opposite, where now Sony is doing the thing, where now Sony is planning on going, completely diskless by January 2028. And again, I am reiterating the point that this is not just for PlayStation exclusives. There's a lot of people that are mistaken, and they think that this is only for PlayStation exclusives. They think, oh, there's going to be third-party games that are going to still offer discs. No, they're not, because Sony owns the copyrights to the PS5 disc. And so when you want to make a PS5 disc, even though you are a third-party, seller, if you, make a game that's not PlayStation exclusive, for example, is like any game, like any game that's not PlayStation exclusive. If there's a company out there that wants to make a game, they're selling it on all systems, and they want to go disc, they can't after January 2028 because Sony owns the patents and the copyright to PS5 discs. And so because of that, they would need permission from Sony, and Sony is not going to give that permission. So basically, everything is going digital after January 2028, and this is betraying the core audience that originally helped build PlayStation, because PlayStation was built on physical media. That is what PlayStation was built on. And without this, it's basically the idea that we don't own what we have anymore. We don't actually have something. They might, companies might try to give us a stupid, game copy, but that stupid game copy that they will give us will basically have nothing inside of it. Basically, just like an example like here, like it'll have nothing inside of it. It'll just be basically just, you'll have a paper in here that'll just have a code, and that's it. And like, it's like, what's the point of, putting a game like on your shelf? Right? What's the point of putting that in there if all you basically have is a code? Like, it's stupid even having the box in the first place if you don't even have a disc for it. So basically, it ruins the whole thing of actually owning something, actually owning it, actually having it in your hands. The freedom to do with it what you want. You want to give it to your friend, you can give it to your friend. You want to let your friend borrow it, you can do that. If you want to sell the game, you can do that too. Now you can't do that. You can't give your, digital games to your friends. You can't, sell your digital game. You can't do stuff like that. It's permanently with your console. And the worst part about this is because technically you're not even fully owning it. You're owning a license. And so what happens is that if that developer, whatever that game is in the future, if they decide to basically cut support for that game, that's it, you're screwed. You're out of money. Where physical, you could always put it in and you could always play it. But if digital, if they ever decide, that's it, we're done, maybe it could mysteriously disappear from your library. Maybe the online features could also be disabled. There's numerous things that could happen. There's downsides digital. And people always say, oh, digital is superior because you don't have to worry about, the disk snapping and stuff like that. I don't think I've ever had a disk snap on me, ever. PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5. I don't think I've ever had a disc snap on me. I don't think I've ever had that happen. But that's what the people that always defend digital, they always say, oh, the disc is in a snap. It's like, no, I don't think I've ever had that happen to me. I own hundreds of games. I've never had that happen to me. So I don't know, honestly, what they're talking about. I'm not an idiot with my games. But now, going back to Xbox, and this is my main message to Xbox, is even though I am a lifelong, PlayStation, player, I have played on PlayStation my entire life, and I also own an Xbox, One and an Xbox Series X, and I even have the original Xbox 360, because there were some games that I like to play on it. Like, I like to play the original, Dead Rising series. I know that's on PlayStation now, but I'd like to play that when it was, Dead Rising 1, when it was, an Xbox exclusive. That was one of my favorite games. And I also really liked, Saints Row 1. Saints Row 1, which was originally an Xbox exclusive. So there were games on Xbox that I liked. And I never really had anything against Xbox. I just personally preferred PlayStation because that was the console that my friends played on. And, that was the console that I was just used to. I didn't have very many friends on Xbox. So I just typically played on PlayStation. But I will say this now, is with Xbox, one thing that I respect about you guys and one thing that I like about you guys so much is that on Xbox, there is backwards compatibility. There is that. There's backwards compatibility with a lot of games. Not every game, to be fair, but there's backwards compatibility with a lot of games. Like, one of my all-time favorite games, Mercenaries 2005, that game, that's a 21-year-old game at this point, pretty much. Mercenaries, I can play backwards compatibility on my Xbox Series X. And not only that, I can play, Xbox 360 games like Saints Row 2, and I can play Xbox One games. So, you can go back Xbox One, Xbox 360, and Xbox original games. And you can play backwards compatibility with that. But my question here is, why can't I play backwards compatibility on the PlayStation with games like Fallout New Vegas or like Ace Combat 4, like, these games, like a PS2 and a PS3 game? Why can't I do that? I remember when PS5 was coming out, there was all these rumors going around that PS5 was going to be able to play PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4 games, but those rumors turned out false. It was just majority PS4 games that you were going to be able to play on. So that's one thing I really appreciate about Xbox. But now going forward with this is Xbox, if you are watching this video, this is your opportunity now, because Sony has been, doing better than you guys for some time now. Xbox sales have been, going down. Sony has been winning this. And I will say this, as somebody, even though I'm a PlayStation guy, I never wished bad on Xbox. I always wanted Xbox to succeed. The reason I wanted Xbox to succeed is because I'm a strong believer in competitiveness in the market. And so I basically believe that if there is competition between different companies, altogether they will make a better product. So if there's two different companies competing over the same consumer, they're going to each race to make the better product. But if you only have one company that is only making that single product, they don't really have an incentive to make the best product all around because they have no competition. With competition, it pushes them to make a better product. And that's where you come in right now, Xbox. I will say to Xbox right now, if you're watching this, that same ad that I played for you guys earlier, where Sony was making fun of you guys back in 2013, you can make an exact similar ad to that, and you can make fun of PlayStation, and you can basically take a stand right now, and you can say that Xbox will always be home of physical media. Always be home of that. Now, I know that there's some controversy over Xbox having, using Blu-ray discs, and I know some people are going to say to me that Sony could force Xbox to go digital or something like that, but that would cause an even, bigger backlash right now. And I don't think even Sony is going to do that right now. If you've seen the backlash that they're getting right now, and Sony is, right now has not been tweeting anything for days, and they usually tweet, every day. They don't know what to do right now, the backlash. So, to Xbox, I will say to you guys, take a stand and show that on Xbox, that Xbox will always be home of physical media. Take a stand right now. Make an ad. Say we will always support physical media. We will always support discs on our console. We will never get rid of that. Take a stand right now. Make that ad. Do that right now. Because I'm going to say this right now, and then some people might be shocked to hear me say this as a lifelong PlayStation player, but I will say this to Xbox. I hope that you guys really hurt Sony so bad in this marketing. Like, really bad. Like, I hope that Xbox starts selling well, even better than PlayStation at this point. As long as you guys keep doing physical. That's what I'll say about that. So I really hope that Xbox, you stick it to PlayStation for this right now. That, because PlayStation really deserves this right now. PlayStation really deserves to, lose sales for this right now. For what they've done, how they've made this huge decision. They have not even asked their consumers. They basically just said, we're going digital. So honestly, to Xbox, I will say right now, I hope that you guys succeed. I wish you all the best, and I hope that you guys continue doing physical. Please, like I said, do not follow Sony's, what Sony's doing. Don't do that. Make an ad. Show that Xbox is always going to be the home of physical discs. Do stuff like that, and that even might make Sony change. I don't know. I can't predict the future and stuff like that. But I'm gonna say is, if you have some smart people in marketing, because I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do Xbox. I'm sure you have some smart people in marketing. If you do have some smart people in marketing, they will be able to take a look at this, and they'll be able to see, hey, look at the backlash that Sony is getting for not having physical. We can take advantage of this and say that we will always support physical on Xbox, and that will go viral. You know, even look at KFC and Domino's. Even though they're food companies, they just made fun of Sony over going to digital, and their posts have been going viral. But Xbox, if you make a post about that, if you make fun of Sony over this right now, you're gonna go even more viral than Domino's or KFC, because you're an actual, video game console. You control physical media for your console as well. So take a stand and basically tell them that Xbox will be the home of physical discs always. That's basically what I'll say about my message here. Is I'm just so disappointed in Sony. I didn't want to have to make this video, but I decided to make this video because I wanted it to be, giving my thoughts ultimately for the future of gaming, because this is unacceptable. I was hoping that Sony would change their mind within the next few days and I wouldn't have to make this video. And I don't know if this video is going to have any kind of effect or if it's even going to do anything. I can only hope. I'm doing my part to basically stop Sony from going all digital. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to basically stop all that nonsense from happening. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Please do drop a like for this video. Share this video. Maybe it'll help the algorithm. Maybe somebody at Xbox will see it. So remember, even if you are a diehard PlayStation fan, remember what I said. It's not about playing on Xbox. It's about competition. It's about that. Competition makes products better. And if Xbox fails, Sony can get away with doing stuff like this, with going all digital, because there's not going to be really many other places that people can go and play. And I know that there are people that are so disappointed in this. I have a friend of mine who's even older than me. He's in his 40s. And he has been a lifelong PlayStation player, and he basically said that after January 2028, he's done. He's going to be going to PC. And I know a lot of people are either going to go to PC or they're going to go to Xbox if Xbox still offers physical, if they even do. But we're going to have to wait and see. So people are pissed. People are angry. But thank you guys for watching this video. Thank you guys for hearing me out on this. And I want to wish also everybody a happy 4th of July. Thank you guys, and I will see you guys on the next one. Have a wonderful day, guys.